What is up, my little pretties? It's your mistress, the Queen of Lions here, and today, well, I guess, today's Friday, which is October 2nd, but yesterday, which was October 1st, was Spooky Month. And yes, it is Spooky Month. Mainly because why I say Spooky Month is Halloween and stuff. Now, I hope you all are going to be staying safe this year on Halloween, so yeah. I don't need to repeat what's going on because you all know what it is. I'm not going to say it here. So, without further ado, I have brought you all a Halloween movie review, or aka podcast episode. So instead of, doing the 31 days of Scooby Doo like I did last year, because, well, some of my videos did get bombed, and some of them didn't turn out as great as I expected it. But anyway, without further ado, I will be reviewing and doing podcast series, based on Scooby Doo and other, related Halloween movies on, Shadows and Pretties. So yeah, this is episode 26. If you guys want to, mark it down. If you haven't watched the first 25 episodes of this podcast, be sure you go check out, those kind of videos because I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And today we are going to be doing a Scooby Doo related movie. Yes. Now you guys are probably wondering, what is your favorite Scooby Doo movie? Well, a lot of people have asked me that for, quite a while, to be honest. So today in this episode, I am going to be reviewing Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. AKA, I'm doing a podcast on this episode, which I will be talking about the movie. So, for Scooby Doo, for those who are new to my channel, and for those who don't know what Scooby Doo is, I know most of you guys probably know Scooby Doo. Probably have seen the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, like Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Back when you were a young kid. Even if you were a young kid in the 90s, you probably have seen Scooby Doo as a young child. Now, with those who are new to my channel, I am gonna say right now that this is a really awesome movie. Even though it's 22 years old, it will still be the best Scooby-Doo movie I've ever seen. I've seen some other ones like Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, and etc. Those will be talked about in the future episodes of this month. So, without further ado, I may do some, double feature, movie episodes of podcast episodes in Shadows and Pretties, just kind of, want to do it because it's Halloween. So, but today I'm only going to do one Scooby Doo movie, which is Zombie Island. So for Scooby Doo on Zombie Island movie, for those who don't know, Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, which is a movie that was made back in 1998 by, Glenn Leopold, who did the story with Davis Doy, and of course, directed by Jim Stenstrom, decided to make, Scooby Doo with zombies. I know Scooby Doo has done some zombie episodes in the past, but that's a story for another day, as I'm going to be focusing on Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. Now, they did develop a sequel to it called Return to Zombie Island. I'm not going to go too much into detail on that one after I talk about this one. It's not as great as I was hoping Zombie Island was going to be good. I was hoping, Return to Zombie Island was just going to be just as good as the first one has, but sadly, it's not the case. It's the complete opposite. But anyways, without further ado, for those who are new to my channel are probably wondering, what is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? I do have a creepypasta on it, so if you guys want to, take a look at the creepypasta, I'll put a link in the description for that story down below. And if you guys want to, make a narration of it on my channel, don't forget to credit me as I'm the original author for that story. I know Shadow Reader did narrate this back last year before his old channel was terminated, but I don't need to go into that many details. So I've been monologuing for like almost 5 minutes, so just to let you guys know, I am going to be spoiling everything about Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. So if you guys don't want to hear me spoil it, I highly recommend you click off the video right now. Go watch another of my videos if you like. So without any further ado, let's begin. So it starts off, with the popularity of Scooby-Doo that grown in the 90s due to reruns aired on Cartoon Network. The channel's parent company, which was Time Warner, suggested and developed a direct-to-video or straight-to-video film property. So Team at Hanna-Barbera confessed of many veteran artists and writers, such as much original voice actors for the series that were recast, although Frank Welker, who returned to voice Fred Jones, but it was also been the first for Scooby Doo direct-to-films to be animated by, Japanese animation studio called Animation Inc. And of course, we do have some more, we have some, bands like Third Eye Blind and Sky Cycle to, contribute to a few songs in the movie. So, without any further ado, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island contains a darker tone than most Scooby-Doo movies. Now, I have to say, when I was a kid, this one, scared me as a young kid growing up, but now when I got older, I start to like it because the only reason why I like the movie, one of the reasons why I like the movie was because it has zombies in it. It's like, zombies. You probably should know, I've done a podcast episode on Zombieland a few episodes ago, and even Shaun of the Dead. So if you want to go check out those episodes, feel free to do so, as I do have a playlist regarding the series. Now, without further ado, the film was released, back in September 22nd, 1998, which, of course, this is a much darker tone than most Scooby-Doo, movies have done. It received positive reviews from critics who complimented on the animation, the story, and the film is notable for being the first Scooby-Doo production featuring the entire game since the Scooby-Doo Mysteries episode on Halloween Hassle in Dracula's Castle, which that was premiered back in the 80s. So, without any further ado, let's go on to the movie. So I've been, talking and babbling for a while. So the plot kind of, the first bit of it kind of goes as the same thing with the, the Scooby-Doo live action movie, which will be another episode for another day. So you are going to find out, something similar to the live action movie Scooby-Doo that came out in 2002. So when I talk for the first few minutes, you're going to might pick up on that one. So let's go. So 5 members of the Game Mystery Inc. go their separate ways after becoming bored of their solving mysteries, and culprits are many people in costumes. Like Daphne Blake along with Fred Jones start running a successful television series, she is determined to hunt down a real ghost and rather a fake one. And Fred, of course, contacts Velma and Shaggy and Scooby and the entire gang to be brought back together for Daphne's birthday. Now, the kind of difference you see in, Scooby-Doo in the live-action one is, the gang got in a fight and they all went their separate ways, but came back when they were all invited to Spooky Island. Now, I will get into that movie maybe in the future episodes of Shadows and Pretties, so be sure you tune into that. But you see, that is quite similar to that one. You guys probably have picked that up, I don't understand why, Scooby-Doo movies, have similarities that were in other movies. But anyway, with that being said, of course, when Daphne's birthday's coming up and Velma's working, at a bookstore, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, have gone from job to job after getting fired, so many times for doing their stupid things. So basically, Fred decides to contact the gang and get back together for Daphne's birthday. They embark on a road trip to scouting a haunted location across the U.S. for Daphne's show. However, after encountering a lot of fake monsters, the gang finally arrives in New Orleans, Louisiana, fed up by this time. They are invited by a young woman who is named Lena Dupree to visit her workplace at Moonscar Island. As the island allegedly haunted by the ghost of pirate Morgan Moonscar, of course the gang is skeptical, but they decide to go with Lena. Once they were on the island, they meet Lena's employer, Simone who basically lives in a strange, large southern home as a pepper plantation house. So, of course, they meet up with the ferryman, Jock, and Simone's gardener, Beau. Shaggy and Scooby encounter the ghost of Moonscar, who who's basically a zombie, and the gang ends up going through several ghost warnings to leave. Despite they stay overnight, still skeptical. Of course, Shaggy and Scooby sees another ghost, conflicted with a Kono warning of them about to leave. So, of course, there was, some scary things in the movie, like writing on the walls and stuff like that. It was a really freaky movie. This is not completely out of the ordinary for a Scooby-Doo movie. I know a lot of Scooby-Doo movies have, done, stuff like this before, but this is probably, a whole new level of, dark tone of Scooby-Doo. I'm going to be honest, guys. If you have watched this movie so many times, even when you're an adult, you can actually see, this is actually one of the best Scooby-Doo dark movies that they ever have done. So it's actually a very good thing, I'm gonna say. This is kind of reason why I love Scooby Doo, because Scooby Doo has done a lot of weird things, and even as a kid, I still love him to this very day. So, that night when Shaggy and Scooby are chased by a horde of zombies, that basically what happens is they end up, having to eat outside. Since Simone was fed up with Scooby's antics of being, well, chasing the cats and stuff like that. So when Shaggy and Scooby go out into the swamp, they ended up seeing a horde of zombies. Yes, slow Walking Dead zombies. so Savannah, who is the brain, smart one of the group, suspects Bao while Fred and Daphne capture a zombie. They believe it's a mask until Fred pulls out its head off, revealing that the zombies are real. Well, that was a little disturbing, I'm gonna have to say, because when I saw that scene as a kid, I was honestly disturbed by that scene. I don't know what it was, but I was really disturbed by that scene. But nevertheless, I actually found this story, this part to be rather disturbing as a kid. I'm sure you guys, as a young child, have been scared of it or even thought that was disturbing for a kid's movie. But at least they didn't show any blood or gore in this movie, not like my creepypasta. Well, if you guys want to watch the creepypasta, it's in my channel. You guys can look for it. But if you guys want to read the creepypasta on it, I'll leave a link in the description down below for you guys to check it out on this creepypasta. So you guys will enjoy it. I know Shadow Reader did, and I made it last year, so that's one thing. So as the horde chases them, the gang splits up, and the chaos, and Daphne accidentally causes Fred to drop the video camera in some quicksand. So since when quicksand was ever in a swamp? Don't know. Losing the film evidence for the show, Shaggy and Scooby then discover their wax voodoo dolls that look a lot like Fred, Velma, Daphne in the cave. When they play with the dolls, they eventually controls the gang's actions, and then they make let the dolls do. Of course, the gang were confused about, when Velma, Fred, and Daphne were lifting the air. They're like, hey, what the hell's going on? So Shaggy and Scooby to drop the dolls when they disturb a nest full of bats, but they run off again and being chased by zombies. So the rest of the gang and Belle discovers a secret passageway in the house when they go back to the house thinking that, Lena and Simone are being kidnapped or something. So Lena basically tells him that the zombies dragged Simone away. So the passage leads them to a secret chamber full of voodoo rituals where Velma confronts Lena about her lie. The footprints in the passageway were Simone's, and she had walked to the chamber as the opposite of being dragged away. So basically what happens in this is Simone and Lena causes the voodoo dolls, and they basically trap the gang. They and Jacques reveals themselves to be evil cat creatures. Yeah, werecats. Oh my goodness. They used to scare me as a young kid, so I'm pretty sure they might have scared you as a little bit as a kid. If you were scared of, the cat creatures or the zombies in this episode, or even in this movie, movie when you were a kid, comment down below because I would really like to hear your thoughts on that, because they used to scare me as a young kid growing up, but now I'm used to it. Well, I gotten over my fear of cat creatures when I was about 9 or 10, and I say, hey, they're not real. So I was scared of them for the last few years as a young kid. So anyways, Simone tells them that 200 years ago, she and Lena were basically part of a group of settlers on the island who worshipped a cat god. When Moonscar drew his crew and invaded the island, they chased the settlers into the bayou, leading them to be killed by alligators. Thank God they did not show that in, we don't see that scene, everyone getting eaten by alligators, because, well, they would probably be rated PG-13 or mostly rated R if they were to do that. I know that because, with a kid-friendly movie and show like Scooby Doo, they don't want to, make it too dark, so then they realize that it won't be a kid movie after all if they did that. So Lena and Simone escape the carnage, but of course pray to their cat gods to curse Morgan Moonscar. Their wish was granted and was transformed to cat creatures, and they basically killed the pirates but remained werecats permanently. With every harvest moon, they must lure and explicit all the victims by draining their lives to preserve their immortality. So Jacques became their ferryman to bring more victims, as he wanted to have more immortality. So the zombies are actually their previous victims, pirates, confidants, settlers, tourists, who also awoke in from every harvest moon tried to scare people in order to stop them from suffering the same fate. So most times in, zombie movies, zombies are like chasing after you and going to eat you. But in this movie, that's not the case. It's not the case for this movie. So that's definitely something there. So Shaggy and Scooby disrupt the werecat's strange ceremony, and the gang frees themselves, but the cat creature surrounds them. However, before they can, get their, hands on the gang to drain their lives, it is too late and the ceremony has passed, and the curse expires as Simone, Lena, and Jacques ends up crumbling into dust, allowing the zombie souls to finally rest in peace. So that's basically how the ending went. So yeah, of course, I'm gonna say this right now. When Lena, Simone, and Jacques were, decaying and, turning back in the dust, that scared me as a kid too. I know some people would think that's disturbing. Well, I think that is just like kind of another level for, Scooby Doo movies to go that dark. So basically, reveals himself to be an undercover police officer who is sent to investigate the numerous disappearances on the island. So Daphne asks Bo to be the guest star on the show, and they all leave the island by morning. And that's basically the happy ending of the first movie. What an amazing movie Scooby Doo was. Like, when I saw this movie as a young kid, I was really scared of, the cat creatures and that when I was a kid. Like, I used to be so scared of them. I was scared of the zombies. But, this is not completely out of the ordinary for, Scooby Doo to, go this dark and, Scooby Doo movies. Because I know Scooby Doo has done a lot of weird things. And they do a lot of weird things at times, especially with the directors, because you never know what they can actually do when it comes to that. So, but watching this for the first time in a while, I actually remembered watching this as a kid on VHS, and I am thinking about getting this on DVD. It is on YouTube for you guys who want to, check out the movie. And plus, if you're, new to this channel, well, I'm not ending it right now, but if you're new to this channel, want to hear more of the Shadows and Pretties podcast, I highly recommend you subscribe to me, ring the bell for notification, and even tune into my next episodes where you'll get to see them more often. But I will be talking about more Scooby-Doo movies in the future. But with that being said, I am going to go ahead and, explain my thoughts on the movie. I actually found the movie to be rather dark, but in a kid-friendly way. So it's like not too messed up and dark that it would be, PG-13 or anything like that. No, it's not like that, which is a very good thing. And that's a very good positive, what I'm going to have to say about it. So one thing I could definitely say, and I'm going to say right now, is that the voice cast was actually really good. I liked, all the, Scooby-Doo characters are in there. And, Mary Kay Bergman, she was the one who voiced Daphne in, well, Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, and Alien Invaders was the last movie she did before she passed away. So it is very sad. I heard she committed suicide, but someone else did say that she, died from a gunshot wound or something. I don't know. I think that might be the rumor, or maybe some people just don't know what they're saying. So, okay. So the Scooby-Doo, the origins of the story, which of course they had entered into a period of the diminishing returns and reruns in the early 90s. So basically they decided to, referring some certain characters, and even they did some Scooby-Doo movies, in the past. But, with this one, they decided to do, more Scooby-Doo movies with the Hell Q score, and basically the Bayou that we see in in this is like in Louisiana. That's basically based on what they saw. So that's basically based on the real place. So of course the casting was actually pretty cool. So yeah, so Scott Hines ends up doing the voicing for Scooby-Doo, as Don Messick unfortunately died for the original actor of Scooby-Doo. And of course, there was a lot of characters that, were in these episodes. So Casey Kasem was originally going to set his reprise role for Shaggy, but had recently gone vegan and demanded the fellow suit and all cut meat and dairy from his diet. So the creative team found it as burbs, and giving the eating everything was a hail mark for the character's decades. In addition, they had already begun the production of Zombie Island, which features Shaggy being integral in crawfish and more. So the gang decides to recast Shaggy with Billy West. And this was actually one of, if you keep looking at it, Billy West's voice when he voiced Shaggy in this kind of sounded like Casey Kaseman's for some reason. I don't know. That might be just me, but Anyway, with that being said, the animation of this is actually really good. Like, it's really well made, like if it was from the original Scooby Doo cartoon. But they've made a lot of money while they did this, and it's so amazing that they actually, released it. So, of course, there's a direct-to-vehicle sequel, Return to Zombie Island, which I'm not going to go too much into detail of it, but I'm going to explain just a little bit of what it is. So, it's just basically a disappointing movie, in my opinion. It's just not the greatest from, what people have said. So, of course, it's been a few months since the events of the last film, which is the Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, and Fred's basically depressed about selling the mystery van. And of course, a TV host ends up announces that Shaggy's won a trip to a tropical paradise. So the gang ends up going there, realizing that it was more of a swamp than a tropical. And it says that the zombies inhabited the island, which will remind them of a few years ago when Zombie Island was going on. So basically, there's a lot of similarities on that one that was in the first one. But, it's just not as good as the original one. I'm just going to say that now. Now, for those who like Scooby Doo and, Zombie Return to Zombie Island, I respect your opinion, but I really prefer the original movie, which is Zombie Island, being one of the best Scooby Doo movies I have ever seen. Now, alright, I guess I kind of, went on. This is probably one of the longer episodes I've ever done in a long time. So, anyways, if you guys like this episode of Out of Shadows and Pretties, what did you guys think? Did you all like it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this movie better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. So, if you want to check out this movie, you can look it up on YouTube. It is there for those who want to see the movie. If you have it on DVD or VHS, you feel free to watch it, as it'd be a good movie for Halloween. Also, if you guys like my channel and want to see more content, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below, ring the bell for notification, and I will be catching you all in the next video, my little pretties. So, I hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll be catching you all next time. Peace out.